Hello, this is Chris and welcome back to a brand new reaction video. Today I'm doing a reaction on the Alien Covenant official trailer 2. I did a reaction to the first trailer that came out for this thing, and actually I think it was a few days ago now, maybe a week ago, there was a prologue that was released for this movie called The Last Supper, which initially I was going to do a reaction on as well. It's about a 5-minute clip. Not sure if it's going to be in the movie. I don't think it will. They did something similar for Prometheus, which involved Guy Pearce on stage giving his idea for the future, I think, or a project he was working on, which then tied with the Whaling Corporation into Prometheus, although that clip itself didn't feature in the movie. So if I talk about that a little bit, as I said, I was going to do a reaction, however it was very dialogue heavy, and it would basically have just been me watching in silence, listening to these characters back and forth with each other. I thought the clip was fine, in all honesty. I don't think that if you're looking at a sort of natural chemistry between all the crew members, I think that the original Alien film from the 1970s is a better example of that. I think it's a lot more naturalistic and they feel more like real people in that movie. But in terms of Alien Covenant, because I have been very cautious about this movie, I really didn't like Prometheus, and I think a lot of people are in that category too, or were very indifferent about it. So I think that this movie is going to have to try and apologise for that. Whether it's going to reference it directly, I think it needs to. I think it needs to tie up a lot of things that were left open at the end of that movie. But I think that this one is going to be a more back to basics approach, and that's what I can tell from the last trailer that came out. It more or less looks like another remake of Alien, in all honesty. But in terms of the Last Supper clip, I really enjoyed it. I like these characters so far. Hopefully you don't just have to watch that clip in order to get the basis for every character, and they do bring in some of that banter and some of that back and forth between all of the characters from that clip, and that appears in the actual movie. I love the moment where one of the crew members starts choking and it brings in this really ominous sense and flashbacks to the chestburster scene from the original Alien, although it turns out, you know, it is literally just a bit of food that's gone down the wrong way. We see David as well, Michael Fassbender's character, come into play with this one, who at the end he gives this smile, and you know, there's something not right about this character, very similar to how he was in Prometheus, where he more or less instigated the entire catastrophe that befell the entire crew. In terms of what I think of Alien, I like Alien and Aliens just fine. I'm not a huge fan of the Alien franchise like some people are. I couldn't tell you all the lore and the history. I'm very much a casual viewer when it comes to these films, but I do own Alien and Aliens in director's cut. Aliens is my preferred movie. I prefer the action in it more, but I completely understand why people would prefer the original. It's very similar to the Terminator films for me. The first one's very much more like a thriller or even a horror movie. The second one is an all-out action movie. Very similar to Alien and Aliens, but I guess I just preferred the increased action in the second one. But with all that being said, we're going to get to the trailer now. I'm going to talk much more about it afterwards. As I said, I don't know the entire lore and everything like that, so something might come up in this that I might not initially pick up on. So I'm going to click play now. And this isn't a Red Band trailer either, so I don't think they're going to show as much gore.
You've all sacrificed so much to be here and be a part of this thing we're doing.
And this was from the 5-minute clip.
This crew is made up of couples.
It's the first ever large-scale colonization mission.
And everyone back on Earth is
Really grateful.
We
for
found out what
hard
Covenant
work
means in relation to the title.
and your courage.
we're making history here.
This is weird. What are the odds of finding human vegetation this far from Earth?
See, it's very
This
similar to
planet.
Prometheus right now. They just wind up on another planet, make some scientific discoveries, touch something they're not meant
You
to.
hear that?
What?
Nothing. No birds. No animals. Nothing.
Yeah, that's a good excuse to get the hell off the planet right there. Oh! That's the horseshoe. Wait, is this the same planet? Is this the same planet as
What
Prometheus?
happened
Are we going to find the dead body of Charlize Theron underneath that horseshoe ship? See if they have a stupid crew again where they just touch the thing.
Do you read me? Come in.
What's happening?
protect you right now. I need you.
Okay, baby, just calm down, sweetheart. Calm down.
Tell me to calm down.
You're breaking up.
There's a lot of quick images here of new alien characters that I'm trying to see.
To start our new life.
There you go. There's your Inception Blams.
Where is it?
And I guess she's our new Ripley.
Hold on!
Oh, wow.
Holy.
Oh, that's a big xenomorph. Oh, I guess you had to throw one in there, right? It's a far cry from the shower scene with the xenomorph in the last trailer that came out. It looks like an alien movie, and I think that's what a lot of people were clamoring for, in all honesty, because when Prometheus came out, it promised to be a prequel to Alien. It was going to set up this entire world. But I think people were expecting a little bit more of a tie-in to Alien. It felt very divorced from that. It raised loads of questions that kind of didn't get any payoff towards the end because it was setting up for a sequel. You can blame the writer Damon Lindelof for that, who worked on Lost. So if anyone's seen that TV series, we know how long we had to wait for answers in that show. And even by the end of that show, we didn't necessarily get all the answers we wanted. So it was very similar in Prometheus. And as I say, you see that, was it Space Jockey ship, the horseshoe-shaped one? I'm guessing that's the same one from Prometheus. It might be a different one. I haven't read up on the synopsis of this movie, so I don't know if it is set on the same planet or if it's going to be a completely different one. But it looks just inherently like an Alien movie, but that you could also look at that as a negative because it doesn't look like it's trying to do anything new. It's the same old story of the first act. You're going to have these characters getting to know them on the ship. They're going to land on a planet. They're all going to be enthusiastic to go on their mission. They're going to realise that something's not quite right, which we see in this trailer. They're going to find all these weird alien species and eggs. They're going to touch them because they're idiots. A facehugger's going to come out and boom, we've got Alien again. So it is almost like a remake of the original Alien. What I want to see most is I want to see them refer to Prometheus. Although I didn't like that movie and pretty much my entire Alien canon is Alien and Aliens. I actually haven't seen Alien 3 or Alien 4, so I can't really comment on those movies. I heard they weren't very good, so I stayed away from them and just watched the first two. But this movie really hasn't got me hyped in any way because I feel like I've seen it all before. I feel like this story's been told many times, even within the Alien series. It doesn't look fresh. It doesn't look like anything new. I was actually really looking forward to seeing Neil Blomkamp's take on Alien, which was going to be a sequel to Aliens, and I think I got mixed up with some elements of that in my previous reaction. If you watch that, which I'll leave a link for in the description, I kept referring to that and it kept bleeding over into this one coming out. But as of right now, I don't know if Neil Blomkamp's Alien film's going to happen. It was all dead set to go ahead. They released some concept art of Michael Bihn's character and Ripley. It was going to disregard 3 and 4 and it was going to be a proper sequel to Aliens, and unfortunately it doesn't look like it's going to see the light of day now. I don't know if Ridley Scott was like, no, this is my baby, I want it, so boom, there's Alien Covenant, I'm going to rush this one out. Because now it's going to be weird if we do get another Alien film, or maybe it will contradict some of the things now established in this movie. Which is a real shame because I would have loved to have seen Sigourney Weaver and Michael Biehn back on the screen together and, you know, not kill him off within the first 5 minutes like Alien 3 does apparently. But you know what? I'll still go and see this Alien Covenant film, but it hasn't really inspired me or hyped me up to go and see it. That might be my initial impression on the Alien franchise in general, but as I say, this just feels like it's been done. You know, instead of a chest burster now, we've got a back burster, I guess. They're just changing it up like that. It's very little tweaks. But I am looking forward to seeing this crew. I am looking forward to seeing these characters, even though I know they're all lined up for the meat grinder in typical horror and Alien fashion. But that'll do it for my reaction to Alien Covenant Official Trailer 2. Be sure to comment, subscribe, let me know what you thought of this trailer. Did you like it? Didn't you like it? Are you excited to see this Alien movie? Anything you like, please do drop me a comment. Later this week, we'll be doing a Q&A video to celebrate hitting 1,000 subscribers. Again, a huge thank you to everyone that's helped us reach that goal. So get your questions questions into us, you can send us questions in the comments in this video, on our Facebook page and our Twitter. Links to those are in the description. We want to get as many questions as possible. There'll be more movie reviews as well. Tomorrow we'll have our review for Logan. George has already seen that. I haven't yet. I'm very, very excited to see that film. So hit that subscribe button. It's the best way to keep updated with all of our content. And until the next video, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.